Okay, let's continue problem set 80, the hyperbola. Well, you know that the basic equation for a hyperbola is x squared over a squared minus y squared over b squared equals 1. So you would begin this problem by dividing everything by 400, and that would give you an a squared of 25 and a b squared of 16, which means a is 5, b is 4. So when this is the equation simplified, and when you graph a hyperbola, remember, if you have just x and y, your center is at 0. So a is 5, that means you go 5 to either side, and 4 up and 4 down. Now with a hyperbola, you kind of sketch in that. You would sketch in your asymptotes, which are lines that nothing can cross. If the x is first, your vertex is right here at 5, 0 and negative 5, 0. And then you sketch going towards the asymptotes but never crossing them. Okay? I don't want to see sketches like this. Okay? You do get close to the asymptotes. Okay. Equations of asymptotes. Well, equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. And in this case, since b is 0, you don't have to worry about that. So all you have to worry about is the slope. So the slope of this asymptote goes up 4 and over 5. And the slope of that asymptote is the other way. Okay? So that's how you get the equations of asymptotes. All right, number 14. 4 terms of a plus b cubed. If you don't remember this, this is where you use Pascal's triangle, which always starts 1, 1, 1. Then you add the set and put the number there. So 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. You have to be able to draw it. You're not going to have a card with Pascal's triangle on it on a test. So it's easy to start. Just keep adding. This represents to the 0 power. First power, second power, third power. So if you're writing the entire sequence, remember, you always start, if it's a plus b, it's always going to be a to the third, a squared b, a b squared, because b starts b to the 0, b to the 1, b to the 2, b to the 3. A starts with the exponent and goes down. So you just put your things in front of it. Okay. You can do the same thing for number 15 and just find the coefficient for the 6th row. So this is 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. So you'd have to go down a couple more rows. Pick the coefficient for the 3rd one, and then you just would go 6, 5, 4 for the x, and you would go 0, 1, 2 for the exponent of the y. Okay, don't use Kramer's rule on 16. Just use elimination or substitution. Now 17, you have a 13-sided polygon that has a perimeter of 39 inches. So one side, of course, is 39 divided by 3, which would be, 39 divided by 12, which would be 3. Draw one triangle of it, one side, because you know it continues to go around, okay? So if that's 3, what you have to do is figure out what that angle is. So you would just take 360 degrees, which is what a full circle is, divided by 13, and then divided by 2. And this is 13.84. If you were to draw this, this is 13.84 degrees. So in order to find this height, to find the area, all you would have to do, this is 1.5. You could say the tangent of 13.84 degrees equals the opposite over the adjacent, and that'll be your height. And then you just do 1/2 base times height times 13 triangles. And the radius of the circle will be this. So you are looking for the hypotenuse, so you can say the sine of 13.84 degrees equals 1.5 over the hypotenuse, and that would be the radius. That can be circumscribed, which means drawn around the outside. So you see that would be the radius. All right? Okay, solve the triangle for unknown parts. Well, you have a pair, which is 20 and 12 inches, and you have a missing part. So you can use the law of sines. You would say, law of sines is A over the sine of A equals B over the sine of B. So if we choose, you first take the pair, you would have 12 over the sine of 20 equals, and you're looking for B over the sine of 145. That should give you B. And then you could just find C by adding your two angles and subtracting from 180. And then once you have C, use the law of sines again and solve for C. 19. Write the equation of standard form for an ellipse. Okay, ellipse is just a squared or x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1. So solve it the same way you did this, and you know that this would be A, this would be B, and you would just do that. All right, 20. Solve for K. We know that when we solve a matrixy thing for a determinant, we just go downwards, which we would do 2 minus k times 1 minus 3k. So 2 minus k times 1 minus 3k minus what's going up, because remember you're going north, so that's negative. So negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. So minus 4 equals 0. So just multiply that out and solve it. A parabola with its vertex at the origin and focus at 0, 7, 5. Write the equations of the parabola, the directrix, and the axis of symmetry, and graph the parabola. First of all, start by drawing. You may end up graphing the parabola before you write the equation because that's easy.